Hi, this is Kimball Bullington, and this is a video of a project charter for my project, which is to prepare to bike the Natchez Trace, which is a 444-mile scenic highway, and I think the longest national park in the continental United States. So I'm just going to dive in here, but I want to say first of all that I've described the project, I think, succinctly in the title, and the title should describe what the project is. I'm the leader, and the team members for sure right at this point would be me, my wife Dinah, and my middle daughter Nicole, and she will I think will have graduated from college, and so this will be a trip for her, a sort of a graduation trip for her as well. Stakeholders and the pickup team, and I said some other Bullingtons as well. So the pickup team, the idea there is who's going to fetch us at the end of the trip or take us at the beginning of the trip, whichever way we do it, or both. So stakeholders, Kimball, Dinah, Nicole, and the pickup team. Problem statement, I'm finding it more difficult to stay in shape, and my preferred means of exercise historically has been running, and I'm breaking down to where having frequent injuries, it seems like. So obviously a bicycle trip is would be hopefully a little bit less taxing on my body, barring any wrecks. We're hoping we won't wreck. So it seems like an epic bicycle trip would be a way to sort of focus my energies and get me exercising strenuously again. I'm exercising, but I'm not pushing myself. In scope, a plan, and getting the necessary equipment and training for biking the Natchez Trace, including targeted dates. It'll be sometime, right now our target is sometime in May, but we haven't got the exact dates. Segment lengths, so 444 miles. I'm right now thinking somewhere in the sub 50 miles a day would be the normal range, so a 10-day, maybe 11 days, somewhere in that neighborhood, bike ride. Before you turn up your nose too much at 50 miles in a day, if we're cruising along at 10 miles an hour, that's 5 hours in the saddle, which if you've never done that before, that's a long time in the saddle. Segment links, overnight plans, and the overnight plans will sort of depend on which direction we go as well, and that'll be involved as well. Will we have somebody drop us off in the south and go to the north, or will we start here in the north, which is an easy drop off, and have somebody pick us up, which is a little more complicated at the other end in Natchez. All of those issues are in the scope, and also in the scope on this preparation is complete at least one 50-mile ride in training. Ideally, I would do like at least three, but I'm only put one because I'd like to under commit and over deliver. So what I'd like to do is one 50-miler and then two 50-milers back to back. So 50-miler one day and then get on the bike again, do a 50-mile again, because that begins to get me understanding what's the day after like, and am I even close to being ready for this. So have a long ride followed by another long ride the next day. Let's see, I've got the project description and desired state, including the route, the timing, the training, funding, equipment, etc. Justification and benefits gets me moving again. Bonding time with Dinah and with Nicole, and that's precious to me. Deliverables, detailed plan, including charter. We got all that project stuff that we're talking about here, and some training rides accomplished. Trip budget. And you think of deliverables as something I'm going to be able to hand off to somebody. Measures or KPI, timing. Well, you can see that detailed trip cost estimate, miles per day, miles per leg. What I didn't have on here, which I'll have to change this now that I read it aloud, is hours per day. Hours per day. Because some of the really good long-distance bike riders say, don't worry about miles, worry about hours. Because if your miles will vary with terrain, but can you do the hours? And so that they've actually suggested that hours per day is a better measure. So just saying that out loud made me think, oh, I need to change that. Budget $250. Maybe a bike computer, and probably panniers. I have some panniers, think saddlebags. I already have some for one bike, but we're talking probably 3 people on this trip. And then you have the scheduled milestones. Notice I took my template and I edited it a little bit. And instead of writing out milestone number 1, completion date, I just did it, and I put up above there, MS1, that's milestone 1. And milestone 1 is this, and I described it. It's not adequate for you to just say milestone 1, completion date, milestone 2, etc., because I don't know what milestone 1 is. And maybe you don't either, but at least take a shot at it in this initial charter and say, this is what I believe the milestones should be. And constraints, mostly, COVID blows up or some health issues could stop this. So that's another look at a charter. If your project if the charter process doesn't help you in your project, then you shouldn't use a charter. But then you shouldn't do that project for this class, because I want a project that's complex enough to where you might actually gain something by going through the charter and learn something. I know I did just in this project. Thanks. Good luck. Have questions? Let me know. Thanks.